Learn English, speak confidently with Inkwell Stories. Hello, everyone. I'm Emma, and welcome to a brand new series on our channel called English in Real Life. In this series, we will practice English conversations that you can actually use in your daily life. Because learning English is not just about grammar and vocabulary, it's about being able to speak in real situations.
And I'm Alex. We know many of you want to feel more confident when you travel, shop, or talk to people in English. That's why this series will take you step by step through everyday conversations, like going to the market, checking in at the airport, or visiting a doctor. These are situations you will probably face one day, and we want you to feel ready.
Exactly. And don't worry, we'll keep it simple at an A2 B1 level. We'll speak clearly, give you useful phrases, and share real-life examples from our own experiences. By the end of each episode, you'll know how to handle these daily situations in English with confidence.
So, if you enjoy learning English in a fun and practical way, make sure to subscribe to our channel. That way, you won't miss any new episodes from this English in Real Life series.
Perfect. Now let's start with part 1, at the market. So, Alex, today we're starting with something very simple, but very important. Going to the market. Honestly, I think shopping for food is one of the most common activities in daily life. I remember when I first traveled to another country, the first English conversation I had was in a supermarket. I needed bread, water, and some fruit, but I didn't know how to ask the cashier simple questions. It was stressful, but it taught me how important these words and phrases are.
Yes, I had a similar experience. When I first went abroad, I felt nervous because I didn't know how to ask, "Where can I find the milk?" or "How much does this cost?" But then I realized that the market is actually one of the best places to practice English. People usually speak slowly, the conversations are short, and you repeat the same phrases many times. It's perfect for beginners.
That's so true. Let's imagine a real situation. I'm the customer, and you are the shop assistant. I come into the market, and I need some vegetables. I might start like this. Hello, excuse me, could you tell me where the tomatoes are? This is polite and simple.
Exactly. And as the shop assistant, I can answer, "Yes, the tomatoes are in the fresh produce section just next to the cucumbers." It's clear and easy. But maybe the customer also wants to ask about prices. For example, how much are the tomatoes per kilo?
Yes, and then you could reply, they are $2 per kilo. See how simple it is? These small conversations build your confidence. And the nice thing is, once you know the structure, you can use it for many different products. How much is the bread? How much are the apples? And so on.
Right, and sometimes people want to be friendly too. In some markets, the cashier or the seller might ask, "How are you today?" or "Do you need a bag?" So it's also a chance to practice small talk. For example, you can answer, "I'm fine, thank you. Yes, I need a bag, please." It's a real-life way to practice politeness.
Actually, I remember once in London, I went to buy bananas, and the cashier said, "Lovely weather today, isn't it?" I was confused because I thought we were only going to talk about bananas. But then I learned that in English-speaking countries, people often mix shopping with small talk. So it's not just about buying things, it's about connecting with people.
That's a great story. I had the same thing in the US. A cashier asked me, "How's your day going?" And I didn't know how to answer quickly. Later, I learned simple phrases like, "It's going well, thank you," or "Pretty good, how about yours?" These phrases are short, but they make the conversation friendly and natural.
Exactly. So let's make a little dialogue together for our listeners. Imagine I'm a customer. Good afternoon. Can you help me? I'm looking for some apples. And you answer, of course, the apples are over there, near the oranges. Then I say, thank you. How much are they per kilo? And you reply, they are $3 per kilo. I say, okay, I'll take 2 kilos, please. And you finish with, sure, here you go. Do you need a bag? See, that's already a complete and useful conversation.
Yes, and the good thing is, learners can repeat this many times with different products. Instead of apples, they can say bananas, rice, chicken, or water. The structure stays the same. That's the secret of learning English. You don't need to memorize hundreds of sentences, just learn the patterns.
I love that. And one more tip, sometimes prices are not clear. You can ask, is this on sale? Or do you have a discount? I once used this in a small market, and the seller gave me a better price. So English can actually save you money.
That's smart. And don't forget about paying. At the cashier, you will hear questions like cash or card. You can answer card please or I'll pay in cash. These are very common and very useful phrases.
Yes, and sometimes they ask, do you want a receipt? If you don't need it, just say, no thank you. If you do, say, yes please. Simple, polite, and correct.
So let's wrap up part 1. Going to the market is not only about buying food. It's about practicing English in a safe, simple, and friendly way. You learn how to ask questions, understand answers, and even do small talk.
Exactly. And if our listeners try these dialogues at their local market, they will feel much more confident. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And remember, even a simple, hello, how are you, is a step forward in real-life English. All right, now let's move to our second real-life situation, the airport. For many English learners, the airport can feel stressful. You have to check in, go through security, maybe talk to immigration officers, and sometimes even ask for help if you get lost. I remember my first time at an airport in another country. I was so nervous because I thought, what if I don't understand what they say? But in the end, I realized that the airport uses very clear and simple English.
Yes, I agree. Airports are international places, so staff usually speak slowly and use basic words. Still, it's important to know the common questions and answers. For example, at check-in, they usually ask, "Can I see your passport?" or "Do you have any luggage to check in?" These are standard questions, and if you practice them in advance, you will feel much more confident.
Exactly. Let's role play a check-in conversation. I'll be the passenger, and you be the airline staff. Ready?
Ready.
Good morning. Here is my passport.
Thank you. Do you have any luggage to check in?
Yes, I have one suitcase and one backpack.
Okay, please place your suitcase on the scale.
Sure. Is it under the weight limit?
Yes, it's fine. Here is your boarding pass. Your gate is B12 and boarding starts at 10:30.
See? That's a real conversation you might have at the airport. It's not too complicated, but it's very useful.
Yes, and sometimes they also ask, "Did you pack your bag yourself?" Or, "Are you carrying any liquids?" A simple answer could be, "Yes, I packed it myself," or "No, I don't have liquids in my bag." These are safety questions, and they come up often.
I remember once I forgot to take a bottle of water out of my bag. At security, the officer asked, "Do you have any liquids?" I said no, but then they found the bottle. It was embarrassing, but now I never forget.
That happened to me too. I had a small shampoo bottle in my backpack and they asked me to throw it away. After that, I always remembered the rule. Liquids must be in small containers and inside a plastic bag.
Yes, that's a very important tip for our listeners. Now, let's talk about immigration control. This part can feel scary, but it's usually very short. The officer might ask, "What is the purpose of your visit?" You can answer, "I'm here for vacation," or "I'm here for business."
They might also ask, "How long will you stay?" A good answer could be, "I will stay for 2 weeks," or "I will stay for 6 months as an exchange student." The key is to answer clearly and honestly.
Yes, honesty is very important. I remember once in New York, the officer asked me, "Where will you stay?" I had to give the name of my hotel, so it's always good to have that information written down just in case.
That's a great tip. Another important area is asking for directions inside the airport. Airports can be very big, and sometimes it's confusing. You can ask, "Excuse me, where is gate B12?" Or, "Could you tell me how to get to the baggage claim?" These phrases are polite and very useful.
Yes, and people are usually kind and helpful. One time, I was lost in Frankfurt Airport. I asked a staff member, "Excuse me, where is Terminal C?" And she gave me clear instructions. Without asking, I would have missed my flight.
That shows how powerful English can be in real life. It's not just about grammar exercises, it's about finding your way and catching your flight.
Exactly. Let's create another sample dialogue for our listeners. Passenger, "Excuse me, could you tell me where gate A20 is?" Staff, "Yes, just go straight ahead and turn left." Passenger, "Thank you very much." Staff, "You're welcome. Have a nice flight." See how polite and short that is? Very simple, but very effective.
And don't forget the announcements. At the airport, you will often hear, "Attention passengers, Flight 325 to London is now boarding at Gate C4. If you understand these announcements, you will never miss your plane.
That's true. I always tell students, focus on key words like boarding, gate, flight number, and delayed. For example, if you hear Flight 210 to Paris is delayed by 1 hour, you know your flight will leave later.
Yes, those key words save time and reduce stress. Okay, I think we've covered a lot about the airports. Check-in, security, immigration, directions, and announcements.
Exactly. So, to our listeners, next time you travel, don't be afraid. Remember these phrases, keep calm, and practice speaking clearly. The airport is full of opportunities to use English in real life. Welcome back. Now, let's move to the third part of our series, visiting the doctor. This is a situation many of us face, and it can be stressful if you don't know the right English words.
Exactly. When you go to the doctor, you often need to describe your symptoms clearly. If you can't, the doctor may not understand what's wrong. So today, we'll show you useful sentences and a real lifestyle conversation.
Yes, and I'll share a story. Last year, I had a really bad cough. I went to the doctor, and I didn't know the medical word for sore throat. I just said, "My throat hurts." The doctor still understood, but later I learned the phrase sore throat. It's simple, but it sounds more natural.
That's a great point. Sometimes even simple phrases are enough. For example, "I have a headache." "I feel dizzy." "I don't feel well." Emma, let's make a short role play. I'll be the patient and you'll be the doctor.
Hello, doctor. I don't feel well today.
Hello, what seems to be the problem?
I have a sore throat and a fever.
How long have you had these symptoms?
For about 3 days. I also feel very tired.
I see. Do you have a cough?
Yes, I have a dry cough, mostly at night.
It sounds like you might have the flu. I recommend rest, lots of water, and some medicine for the fever.
Thank you, doctor. Is there anything else I should do?
Yes, if you don't feel better in a few days, please come back.
Okay, I will. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Take care of yourself.
See, that wasn't too hard. Even if you use short sentences, you can communicate well.
Exactly. You don't need complicated grammar to explain your health. Just use clear, simple words.
So now we've covered the market, the airport, and the doctor's office. These are real-life places where you need English.
And remember, practice makes perfect. Try repeating these dialogues at home. You can even act them out with a friend.
That's right. And don't forget, at the end of this video, you can download a PDF with the full transcript and vocabulary list.
And if you enjoyed today's lesson, please subscribe to our channel. That way, you won't miss the next episode of English in Real Life.
See you next time, everyone.